Welcome to the JAMODI Podcast. My name is Turner Cavender, former professional athlete and action sport enthusiast with a passion to spread inspiration and positivity. Each week, we deliver you an inspiring message to help you put your life in forward motion to achieve your ultimate goals. Now let's get this show started because it's just a matter of doing it. Welcome to the JAMODI Podcast. That's right, Turner Cavender here. And for those of you that are new to the podcast, JAMODI Podcast stands for just a matter of doing it. It's an old saying that I grew up living by. It's tattooed on my arm. It's cut out, laser cut out into steel on the wall here in my facility here in Dallas, my Fit Body Boot Camp. Guys, I live my life by, and my whole purpose of this JAMODI podcast is to spread positivity because we live in a world that's so negative with with social media, the news, the newspapers, and another reason for this podcast is to help someone else out there just like you that's listening to take that step forward in a positive lifestyle, and that is the whole point of this. This is free. I want you to understand this is completely free. I'm not getting paid to do this. I do this out of the passion of my heart to help people just like you that are watching, lending me your ears, watching me on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. Those are the people I'm trying to impact. You. That's right. So if you could, please just share it with that. I don't ask for money. All I ask is you give me a review on iTunes and give it a share to somebody that you might know, and really tell somebody that if you got something out of this, share it with a friend and family member. You never know who it can impact. So let's go right into the podcast. We have a great episode today. It's episode, 23 now. So we're on episode 23 right now. And today's topic is about how, dealing with, your wounds and past damaging events, dealing with those and using those to power your future for the better, okay? Now, today I'm going to be really, really, really vulnerable today, and I'm going to share with you some things that I've gone through in my life, and I really, really want to share with you. Maybe you can relate with some, obviously it's not going to be exactly the same, but maybe you'll be able to relate to something in your life that has happened, and you can seek some help, and it could power your future to the best. Now, some of you that are knowing me personally know that I've gone through, when I was, born, I was born with nerve damage, and I had, hearing loss, and I still do today, and it was hard when I was young, and I got in a lot of fights. It was very hard in school for me to learn. It was very hard for me to hear the teachers wearing hearing aids and learning sign language and not having the best way to communicate with friends. People, at a young age, bullies are a really bad thing, and to this day it still is, and it's actually even worse because of social media. And so, being a young child and not mature, I dealt with it in a negative way. I felt bad about my self-esteem. That I didn't have a lot of friends. The friends that I had, kind of dismissed me, and I was always just, in a sad way to, Sorry, I saw somebody write something on our live feed asking me about how I survived 220 volts of electricity. It was funny. But yeah, we were trying to work on something and I got shocked really bad. But anyways, being different was a struggle for me. Being told that I would never go to college by classmates or, rude teachers that honestly should be shitty ass teachers that should never have gotten a job, which has actually happened. Getting in fights, I had to learn how to fight really soon and got really strong. As I say, my handicap strength, I get really, really strong when I get angry, and that's not the best thing in life to have. And growing up with a lot of anger, so I had a huge anger management problem. And I didn't know how to manage it, and I had a wonderful mother, and she put me into counseling and helped me with my anger management. And at a young age, I really didn't want to be there. I want to do it. That was the first thing. Most people were like, I don't need counseling. I don't need help. But it did help me at a younger age to be able to channel it to different things, and I kind of found an outlet, and that outlet was racing motocross. It was extremely aggressive. sport, and it was an individual sport, which because I couldn't communicate with a lot of my friends, nor hell, when I played football in high school, I would just run all the wrong routes, and I was terrible because I couldn't hear what the hell was going on most of the time. So that was hard, and being told that I would not be able to do something in life, go to college, be successful, you're just going to work at McDonald's or some fast food joint, and it was hard on me. Yeah, it was, and today I use all of those things. Still today, that I used those things when I got into motocross. I used that to be, really, really aggressive in my sport. When it was a very physically demanding sport. It's actually backed by science, one of the most physically demanding sports that's on the face of the earth. Google it. Let me know what you see. It's the first thing that pops up. And then, also carried into college. I've been told that I would never be able to make it to, a college and make it through it. Today I have a kinesiology degree with a minor in nutrition. It was very hard for me, don't get me wrong. It wasn't easy. I used all that for fuel. But, remember I told you I took counseling back in the day? I sought help with my mother. At the time, she kind of forced me to do it. But I did that. But once I went through college, I started understanding that I did need help with my anger management. I did need help with my weirdly depression that I went through with being different, and I felt like I was inferior to everyone in my classes in college because I was trying to, for a 1 hour lecture, it took me 3 hours to study it because I would have to compare my note taker, my notes from my professor, and then the crappy notes that I took. I had to put all those together, and it was really hard, but I stuck to it, and I used, why I did that? It's because I used the things that were told to me in the past that you would never be able to do what I'm doing at the moment. You'll never be able to get through college. You'll never get a good job. And I used that to basically, in my own selfish little way, I guess I would say, is to shove that shit right back in their face and be like, fuck you, I did it, and I got through it, and look at me today. And, the same thing, getting a college degree doesn't just make you successful in the world. Most of you know now that, just having that piece of paper doesn't make you successful. And out of college, especially in the kinesiology or exercise sports science world, you normally have to work for a big box gym and all this crap and be a slave to the big man, whoever it is in the corporate world. And, it was hard for me out of college. I had to jump around for jobs, intern here and there that didn't make any money. And it got to the point where I was struggling for food and a place to stay, going back home to mom and dad's house, couch surfing, sleeping in my truck, and stuff like that. And it was rough. But I used this for my fuel, my past wounds and damaging events, from my hearing loss to people that told me things that I wouldn't be able to do. And the one thing, a big turning point for me, is when I actually sought help. I was working in a place, and I was able to get insurance, and I got a counselor, to help me with anger management. And I remember when I started going through my counseling and I sought help, and I understood that it was okay to seek help and to put down my ego of, I don't need help, I don't need that, I don't need all these. It helped so much to sit down, come one with the problems that I had, discuss them, understand where they originate from, and what outlet should I use, my energy for. How am I able to suppress and produce positive versus, suppressing and then exploding anger or negativity into the world, because we already have too much negativity out there with the news, the TVs, and all that stuff. So the whole point of this JAMODI podcast is to, take my energy and turn it into a positive light, to shine on others that need help. And that is my passion in life. So, with going through a big box gym, working for somebody else, I didn't like it. I wanted to be able to make a bigger impact. And I remember, I even remember back in college when I started selling supplements, and even my parents, they didn't understand when I had a binder and everything. And I set that binder down, and I'm like, hey, this is what's going to happen. This is how it works. I want you to understand it. I think they were thinking I was going to ask them for money so I could buy into it. But I had already done it, and I was letting them know, and they were extremely negative about it and not supportive of it. And I used, no joke, even it could come from your family. No joke, I used that fuel to prove them wrong. Today, they still ask me, how's your supplement sales going? And it seriously, all the work that I did in college still pays me today. Today, 10 years later, it's still paying me today. And it still use that to impact other people's lives. When I went into the entrepreneurial world, I quit a big box gym, I started doing one-on-one training with people. Same thing, people say, what are you doing? Why don't you get a job? Why don't you get something that's more reliable? Blah, blah, blah. I wanted to have more impact. I had more of an idea on solving a problem, being the solution for the problem, and that's when the money came. Yeah, it took a while. It took a long time for me to get to that point, but I still used the past events, my counseling, everything that's happened to me in the past and what's said to me in the past, I use as fuel, as a fire to project a positive impact in my goals, in my life, and on other people's lives. And that was the whole reason, I wanted to bring this podcast up. It's because I know myself and other people that have been great entrepreneurs, very successful people, have used this same theory in their life. And I want to stress upon getting help, whether it be talking to a friend, a family member, or getting professional help, maybe therapy, or it may be an outlet of energy that you need to release, maybe yoga, something that's extreme. Like me, I have to have an extreme outlet. The most dangerous thing on this earth, racing motorcycles, I've seen bad things happen. It's extremely dangerous, but it's extremely aggressive, and it's one way to channel my anger. I guess I feel like I don't have it anymore because I've gotten help, but it's so much fun to me, and it's really who I am, and I enjoy it. But in the past, I had to use that for my anger release because that was aggressive, and I needed to do that. But today, after having all this therapy, the time that I put in, and it wouldn't hurt for me to go back and get more therapy every once in a while. It wouldn't, and I'm okay with that. And I'm vulnerable to let everybody know that I'm just like you. I'm no different. I am one of those people out there that really wants to make a positive impact on my life and keep getting better. I can never stop growing. I never peak. As a good business mentor of mine, Bedros Keuilian says, he never peaks. You always learn. You always grow. And I think it's a great, great thing. It's a great way to live your life. And I really want to, make sure you guys understand that it's okay to get help. It's okay to do those things. It's okay to ask for help. Ask me. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this podcast. That's why I'm doing these live feeds here. For you. To help you. Someone just like you. Yeah, you. So, finding and understanding that it's okay to have a cure with help from somebody else. Channeling your wounds, your hurts, your past events that were damaging to you, and channeling those for fuel to help you propel through the future. Now, if you've gotten really good, if you need help finding, or if you got a good, message from today, please let me know. Let me know by leaving me a comment. Give me a review on iTunes. Sharing this with your friends out there. Tell someone out there about this. I really do love helping you, and I really want to keep this going. So help me out by doing that. And remember, as I always say, JAMODI. It's just a matter of doing it. Take care, guys.